Hello my friends, don't go anywhere. This is the Construction Watch and I'm your host Joshua Nati. We are going to be discussing this serious problem in building that I personally call cancer in buildings, which is the rising damp or dampness, as many people would simply love to call it. Yes, in this section we are going to learn the meaning of rising damp. We are going to help ourselves understand if we say rising damp, what are we implying. We are also going to help ourselves to understand the causes, the things that we have refused to do at the initial stage of our building that have resulted in rising damp. We are going to be discussing it right here. We are also going to help ourselves understand the obvious signs of rising damp. There are a few things or signs that when you see occurring around your building, you should know that your building is currently experiencing rising damp. Yes, we are also going to learn about the preventive measures. There are some things that if you do at the early stage of your building, the initial stage, certain technology that when you inculcate, you are going to save yourself a great deal of fortune that you would have used to maintain your building when rising damp setting. We are also going to help ourselves to know the treatment or remedies to deal with rising damp if your building is already experiencing this cancer. Yes, this is the Construction Watch and I am your host Joshua Nati. Stay right here with me. So what is rising damp? When someone says rising damp, what are we trying to say? Rising damp occurs when groundwater rises through the capillaries of masonry work to saturate it. That is rising damp. Someone will also say that dampness in building is when structure makeup of a building absorb groundwater. That is also correct. So in other words, another one would say when moisture rises through the small pores of the walls of the building to cause total wetness of the block work. Yes, that is also correct. So now let us help ourselves to understand some of the causes of rising damp in our building. Firstly, I can say that one of the major causes of rising damp in building is structure failure in the buildings. When I say structure failure, it could be inappropriate technologies or inappropriate designs or the use of inappropriate materials in the building. You see, it's not every material that you can use at every location. You have to, your engineer or whoever is in charge of your construction have to examine the grounds and know that yes, this is the condition of the ground and this is the kind of material that are appropriate for the grounds. So you see that when wrong materials or wrong technology are used, groundwater which contains salt rises through the walls of the building and then to saturate the walls. Then the salt in the water causes serious damage to the inappropriate materials that you have used to build. So if you are building in an area that you suspect that the groundwater contains some element of salt, you have to select materials that can be able to combat the effect of the salt. So that is number one. Number two, in older buildings, it's either the buildings lack DPC, damp proof cores, or DPM, that's the damp proof membrane, or maybe the damp proof cores have been installed all right, but they have been damaged. That is the two major causes of rising damp in buildings today in Africa, precisely Ghana. So now that we know the causes of rising damp, let's look at the obvious signs. There are certain things that when you see around your building, you should know that rising damp is taking place and eventually is going to destroy your building. Yes, decaying of the skirting board of the walls or of your building, you will see that your building will start decaying. There's also visible damp patches on your walls. So that is it. You see that some patches as if there's water on the wall, those kind of things. There is also black, white, green mold growth on your wall, you will see that your walls have begun to develop some black or white or green colors, like discoloration of your wall. That's what I mean. You are also going to see corrosion of your brick and mortar. Yes, and then there's going to be wallpaper and paint beginning to blister and eventually starting to peel off. All of these are signs that when you see on your buildings, you know that yes, rising damp is taking place. There's also efflorescence, which is the salt in water destroying the building and causing corrosion, and then you see that your when you pass your hand around the way, so that it's beginning to form powder. Yes, that you know that it is salt in water that is trying to destroy your building. So if you are a new builder, there are a few things that you need to do to prevent the occurrence of rising damp in your buildings going forward. Yes, number one is the installation of a DPC. DPC means damp proof course. Damp proof course generally is applied at the basement level of your wall, which prevents or it restricts the movement of moisture through your walls. But note that the kind of material, the type of material you select as your damp proof course is dependent on a lot of factors that you need to take note. So if you're a new builder, it is appropriate that you consult an experienced technician to help you select the appropriate damp proof course for your building. The number two is damp proof membrane. The damp proof membrane, or DPM, is a thin sheet usually made of polythene that is laid on the floor of your building, and it also restricts moisture from rising from the ground into the superstructure of your building. But those of you whose buildings are already experiencing this serious problem of rising damp, don't worry at all, because it can be stopped. It can be stopped through the installation of a remedial DPC into your walls. Yes, there are several cost-effective materials and technologies on the market today that can help resolve this issue of rising damp in your buildings. If you are facing such problem, just look out for the best damp proof solution technicians on the market. At Sikachu Eco Technologies, we have some simple but very effective technologies and materials that can help resolve this rising damp that your building is currently experiencing, and it will surprise you to know that it comes at a very moderate cost. My name is Joshua Nati, and this is the Construction Watch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.